When I was 10 years old, I was in a Games Workshop bathroom thinking I was dying because I ate some of the special glue that you use to put the pieces together. Out of fear, I told no one and accepted the slow and painful death that I was convinced awaited me. A few hours later, I was totally fine. 20 years later, I have social anxiety issues and a peanut allergy. But at least this game's okay. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is the sequel to Warhammer The End Times Vermintide, which I never played because there's a sequel now and we all know the sequel is always better. It's a hack and slash co-op with some Left 4 Dead vibes, but instead of zombies you're smashing things that look like zombies and rat people. If you're into the lore, they're called Skaven and Chaos. The tutorial lays the groundwork for the story, but after that, it's pretty easy to miss. The main story arc consists of 13 missions, which are loosely connected together. I think you'd find the story much more rewarding if you've read some of the lore surrounding the end times and are familiar with some of the locations and characters. I didn't get into the story that much, mostly because you get an extra bonus for quick joining a match, which is, I guess, the way they're trying to use to promote playing with strangers. But it immediately killed any of my desire to do the missions sequentially. On loading into a mission, some guy, I'm pretty sure it's this guy, is telling you where you're going and why. And to be honest, lack of story or my lack of interest, it was enough for me. I'm not here for the story, I'm here to smash rats. Main elements of combat consist of attacking, blocking, and dodging. The amount you can block and dodge depends on the weapon you have, and it's pretty imperative to your survival. Easy difficulty, which is called Recruit, is a great introduction as it provides some challenges for new players. But moving on from Recruit, blocking and dodging, crowd control, and sticking close to your teammates becomes a lot more important. You can lose a large portion of your health from one missed block or one miscalculated dodge, and it's something that I'm still getting used to. I'm still getting rocked on medium difficulty. Every weapon has a distinct weight and feel which will alter your playstyle. Some weapons, such as the Greatsword, have a slow, far-reaching, wide sweep, which is great for crowd control, but comes with the caveat that you should manage your swings and block times. On the opposite side are the dual daggers with a very fast attack speed but limited distance. Each primary weapon can block a certain amount of hits and has an effective block radius, which I just learned is displayed here. Your secondary weapon is a ranged weapon, and other than the bow, they're not very nice to look at. Most, however, do pack a satisfying punch and are great companions to the melee weapons. A standout is Sienna, who has her own set of ranged fire staffs, and they're just a whole lot of fun. Weapons come in grays, greens, blues, oranges, reds. Items don't have complicated stats, though. They just have power levels. Essentially, higher is gooder. And there's a bit more to that, but whatever. Weapons and items are picked up at the end of every mission, but I'll talk about that a little later. Simply put, this game's biggest strength is how much fun it is to smash rats into paste and have their hopes and dreams painted all over your screen. There are 5 heroes or classes in this game, and each hero has 3 different career paths with a different special ability they can use and a unique set of passive perks. There's a basic progression system. Every few levels you can choose a new skill from a set of 3. For this game, that's enough for me. I'm not too interested personally in making an effective build in this game, but it looks like there is a pretty passionate community of hardcore players who put some work into some in-depth YouTube videos. Visually, the game is stunning. The lighting effects and volumetric fog breathe life and death into the world, and each of the 13 missions feel different and almost always end in a spectacular and exciting finale. You can tell the art team poured their heart and souls into making each set piece have a special feel. I'm not as well versed in Warhammer lore now that I've stopped eating glue, but this certainly feels like it fits in perfectly with the universe, and Warhammer fans will appreciate the art direction Fat Shark has developed, whether or not the elements of it are necessarily canonical. The audio is another standout feature, featuring a fantastic soundtrack which can feel as chaotic as the violence around you. The voice acting is exceptional. The characters often banter back and forth, most of which comes across as genuine, and I was easily sold on their reluctant fellowship. I think you gain a lot more elements of the story when you're just listening to the characters talk back and forth to each other. Overall, the sound is great, and the constant slicing and dicing is ASMR for the psycho rat killer inside of me. As far as the violence goes, you smash rats, you smash special rats, and you smash the chaos, which also have their own sort of specials. Like Left 4 Dead, the specials come with their own set of challenges and can draw comparison to some of their actual Left 4 Dead counterparts, such as the Globadier, Assassin, and Tanks. The tanks in Vermintide 2 come with their own variety and are more akin to random mini-bosses than a pure Left 4 Dead ripoff like some of the others. I don't really criticize them for this easy comparison you can make between Left 4 Dead. There are enough unique additions in some of the special enemies in the game that Vermintide 2 doesn't really feel that much of a ripoff. I do, however, hope they incorporate a versus mode, which I think would be a lot of fun, and apparently that is in the works. Now, I've said a lot of nice things about this game because it's fun, and it's obvious that this was a passion project for the developers. It's just a shame that some fucking idiot, or a collaborative team of fucking idiots, decided that loot boxes was the key to high profits. Keep in mind that this game was being developed during the loot box golden era. Battlefront 2 shipped 4 or 5 months earlier and got absolutely shit on, and I think the decision makers in Vermintide were fully planning on doing the same thing, but luckily had the fortune of hindsight. Currently you get one loot box when you level up, and another one when you complete a mission. You get better boxes based on things like picking up a book in a mission, and there are weekly challenges which give you shillings, and you can use these shillings to buy cosmetics. My working theory is that this game was fully intended to squeeze every dime out of you for orange and red swords and funky hats. The UI itself looks straight out of a free-to-play, and they were far too deep into development to unfuck the decisions they already made once they realized that loot boxes suck. Thankfully, you don't have to buy them, and I don't think you can buy shillings either, but a Diablo or Borderlands style loot mechanics would have complemented the gameplay and design decisions a lot more than this ugly system. For me, it's a huge downside and a big blemish on an otherwise fantastic game. I was going to give Vermintide a 3-star since I hate loot boxes so much, but that's only my real problem with it. Realistically, this game is $30 and you can easily get your money's worth out of it. If it's on sale, this game's a no-brainer, so 4 stars.
Dare they strike me down? So graceful now,